MamaMax has been finally exposed for the fraud that he is. I'm going to say this again, and it's not to gloat or to toot my own horn or anything, but like I said in my last video about Hassan, I have this weird almost like gift, if you will, of being able to tell when a person just isn't a good person. I've said this about Hassan, and I said this about MamaMax before when I made my first video about him, when he did his little fake cancellation / manipulation attempt with Charlie to try and get Charlie to talk about a topic he doesn't really need to cover if he doesn't want to. Even Charlie didn't really appreciate the way MamaMax approached the situation.
Stop ignoring MamaMax. Yeah, so here, you want me to talk about it a little bit? That rubbed me the wrong way. We talked like a month ago about like what he was working on in his investigation. And then apparently when I had COVID, he messaged me a couple times and I never saw it. And now he's taken that as me ghosting him and ignoring his very important mission. And it really rubs me the wrong way. Instead of just he's jumping to the most extreme possible explanation for me not seeing it, which is really fucking cringe. That did make me upset. There. Yeah, that really rubbed me the wrong way. I had COVID, and I barely used Discord in the first place. It was a miracle I ever even saw his message to begin with. And then I spent 12 days not doing anything online, in bed. And during that time, apparently it changed his whole framing of the video in order to make it like a Trojan horse of cancel critical, because he didn't respond to my messages and ghosted me. So yeah, that did rub me the wrong way. Good intentions, but I did not like that.
Well, in the comment section of my video, people were calling me out saying that my video was cringe, that I was spreading misinformation, that I was on fentanyl, and all other kinds of shit. Who's on fentanyl now, you stupid fuck? I made a follow-up video responding to the drama in my initial video, in which I further elaborated on my point. What he is fighting for is a good cause, and that was never my problem with his video. I wasn't coming out against his cause or pretending like things like that don't matter. My problem is that he was trying to guilt and manipulate Charlie into collaborating with him by making a public call-out video. In his own video, Max says he reached out to Charlie, and because Charlie did not respond, he was somehow forced to make this video.
While such content has its relevance, my intention in reaching out to you, especially through private channels like Discord, was to foster a private approach to address these serious matters. Unfortunately, your silence has left me with no choice but to resort to more public forms of communication.
No one forced him to call out Charlie or the creator community. That video was received better than my initial video on MamaMax. After that happened, everything died down for like a month. Well, recently everything came to a head, and I am delighted to say that I have been vindicated and that I was right, and you bozos who disliked my video and left nasty comments were all wrong. In all seriousness, some recent allegations have come out against MamaMax that put his entire career into question. After his fake call-out video of Charlie, he began to do live streams and began inviting top creators to raise awareness for his quote-unquote campaign to seek justice for the victims of a vampire/werewolf cult, in which he accused a man of these crimes based on the allegations of one person, which is allegedly a victim of this man and is now living with MamaMax. Well, this is when things began to fall apart for MamaMax. Some ordinary gamers, or Mudahar as many in the community know him, hopped on a stream and began asking Max questions before he could get behind this cause.
It was just like a matter of this whole story, it hasn't really properly been told yet to the mass public, you know what I mean?
Yes, we know.
Which like, and that's the big problem, right? It's like for people to come in here and like, the thing is, it's like you're accusing somebody of really serious situations, right? Like this guy of really serious crimes. And I know that you believe you're in the right. And from a personal perspective, I know that you feel you have the evidence and you feel like you know what you're doing is the right thing. But the thing about it is, like, if you want people to take this as seriously as you guys are taking it, you need to start providing that evidence to the public and provide like an actual story.
Now, Muda made a 1-hour video on this whole thing. If you want to watch it and get his side of the story, I will link his video in the description box below. Anyways, MamaMax has spoken to many people in the YouTube community to raise awareness for his cause, and just ended up looking horrible, and even ended his stream by saying he will probably never do this again. But before we get into all this though, let's begin with the message he sent to Muda before his fake call-out video was released.
The story begins on October 3rd, 2023, where Max sends me a message on Discord.
Hey Muda, I hope you've been well. I don't want to bother, but I thought you might appreciate a heads up about an upcoming project of mine. I'm on the verge of releasing a video for Halloween that is likely to generate significant drama. While it may be deemed controversial, the intent behind it is for charity. The video is designed to be a trap for reaction channels. Knowing your integrity and the quality of your content, I would hate for you to be caught off guard. At the same time, we would be honored if you would consider covering this in a thoughtful manner. To facilitate a deeper discussion, may I include you in a group chat with other influencers who are also considering covering this topic? If confidentiality is not an issue, I'd be more than happy to send you the video under a non-disclosure agreement. This will allow you to become familiar with the video's content before it goes public, enabling you to navigate any provocative elements we've included. Look forward to hearing from you, Max.
Now this message doesn't seem too bad on its face, but notice there how he brings up integrity? It's the same tactic he used with Charlie in his video.
Charlie, I hold on to the hope that you'll act in accordance with the integrity and goodness I've always known you to possess. The action I am urging from you isn't about making a video for us. All we want is a conversation with you. This dialogue is essential, not just between us, but as part of a broader discussion that our community and society at large desperately needs.
And that's what I called him out for in my video, for being a manipulator. That's what shady and manipulative people do. Use your goodwill or perceived goodwill to try and get you to do things for them that you may necessarily not want to do or have no interest in doing. Well, following this message, Muda did say he was going to hop on this group chat and see what the video was about. But when Muda did not keep in touch with Max, Max once again went into manipulator mode and tried reaching back out to Muda with his shady tactics regarding this issue.
So a few days after inviting me to this group, Max inquires and asks Mudahar, it's been a bit since we've caught up, and I get that your plate is probably overflowing, but I wanted to touch base again. Sorry if our previous chats have been a bit heavy. These issues are really close to my heart, and that's exactly why we need to keep the conversation going. You've got a seriously powerful platform, and within your reach, we could really make some noise for the betterment of children's lives. Just a little bit of your time could go a long way. No pressure to dive into the subject, but if you could spare a couple of hours for an interview, I believe we could spark some real change. Is there a time that works for both of us to sit down and talk for an initial engagement? A few days later, Max says, I'm reaching out again because the voices of child survivors cannot be ignored. I've shared their stories with you because I believed in your capacity for empathy and action. Your silence so far has been disheartening, but I still remain hopeful. Please understand, we are determined to be heard and will continue to seek influencers who have the power to do something heroic. Watching the attached video and acknowledging their plight is all we are asking right now. I hope you will not let us down. Now obviously at the end of this you can see that it becomes very apparent that Max is emotionally guilting me into speaking and promoting a topic that I haven't actually seen much concrete evidence on, nor do I know much about, because it doesn't publicly exist.
After this, Max finally released the video and Muda caught up with everything and called him out for the way he was handling this whole thing.
The next video he sends me was originally titled, "This is the greatest cancellation of all time. @Penguin0, #WeAreReal." The title in the original play was a play on Charlie's content, in which his descriptions are always, "This is the greatest blank of all time." And the thumbnail being Charlie initially had me worried that something nefarious was going on or about to come out on a close online associate, given the nature of Max's predatory hunting content. This video was never a cancellation on Charlie, but rather severe clickbait to draw eyes and then shift attention briefly to the story Max is covering, and then focus on cults, misinformation, and artificial intelligence in our world. At this time, I respond back. Max, I've seen your latest video and have caught up with this whole situation. I haven't seen the 5-hour podcast with Spencer, who is one of the victims. She has her own channel, where she posted a 4 to 5 hour account of her involvement and experience with this cult that we are going to look into. It's quite long, and I feel the story could do with a bit more structure. This is a serious matter, and I have no issues covering it. I would like the victims to seek proper restitution, but going it in this manner isn't the best.
I would be down to talk further with these victims and analyze this evidence if their claims are as solid as it's being depicted.
In the video that Max released, he made some wild and outlandish claims about a person without any corroborating evidence that would in fact implicate this person. All his video was conjecture and unsubstantiated claims. Now, I'm not saying that it's not possible or that it's a lie that this person did these things, but Max provides absolutely no proof and instead goes on about cults and AI and how companies are bad and how we must protect children. To protect the children is a well-intentioned cause, and I agree that we must protect the young and innocent, but you can't accuse someone of committing these terrible crimes and provide no proof in your video, then just shift the narrative entirely and make it about something else while also trying to guilt content creators into covering a topic that you are passionate about. Telling viewers to send this to their favorite content creators to get them to cover this, like Anthony Fantano, fucking Anthony Fantano of all people, a YouTuber who covers music for God's sake. You wanted that guy to interrupt his regularly scheduled programming to cover this? And then if they didn't, they were somehow enablers or traffickers themselves?
The other big part is when he starts pointing out that if influencers deny anything here in this, then they could be one of these following horrible things like internet predators, like human traffickers, groomers, so on and so forth.
Again, a shady as fuck manipulation tactic by Max. That's all that is. Because to Max, the end justifies the means. I mean, there's literally a video clip of him saying he could cancel Charlie because he's the pedo hunter.
Charlie, I could literally cancel you, Charlie. I could literally cancel you. And I choose not to. It's true, though. It's the truth. Like, I'm the friggin' pedo hunter.
As if he has some sort of secret on Charlie that could get Charlie canceled if he doesn't comply with Max's request. These are the ramblings of a person who's high on their own ego. That's all this is, to be honest. And it's sad. He let the fact that he became a very respected YouTuber by pedo hunting, and I use that term very loosely because none of his quote-unquote investigations have led to anyone being arrested. Not one arrest, not one conviction, nothing. But anyways, he let his YouTube fame get to his head, and he actually thinks he's way more important than he actually is. And I've said this before about content creators. It's cringe when some of them think that they have more influence than they actually do. And for that reason, they think they're actually more important than they actually are. And Max here is a perfect example of that. Max has become the living embodiment of that. And it gets worse. It gets much worse for Max. He not only doxed the person he made allegations of. By the way, there's a reason I have not mentioned this person's name, and it's because there has been no proof that this person has committed any actual crimes, and I will not aid in the doxing of this person. He not only doxed this person, but began doxing his mother and brother live on stream to basically send his followers after them to try and get answers.
He lives in Must We Know, correct?
Yes, Marissa. His mother is currently where his mom is. He does for sure have a brother named Carl. Someone asked to type out Camden's brother's name. I will go ahead and type that in chat.
And when he was confronted about this by a YouTuber named Lurks, he admitted that he had no proof that his family was involved with any crime or had any sort of idea if they had anything to do with this.
When I personally asked him if he has any evidence of the mother or brother being involved whatsoever in Camden's crimes, he admits he doesn't at all.
You don't have any proof that they're even involved, right? Like the mom didn't help out Camden with his potential abuse to these kids. Or the brother. Like, you can't prove either of that, correct?
Correct.
It gets even crazier than that. Max claims he does not like to throw the word pedo out loosely and claim anyone is a pedo, but literally claims people are pedos with no proof. But when he was accused of being a rapist and a pedo himself in an expose video of him by 4 of his exes, all of a sudden, the allegations are false. Even though he does not afford anyone else the same benefit of the doubt, you must afford that to him. I've never said this publicly before, but when I made my initial video on MamaMax last year, I thought to myself, This guy seems way too invested in this. Maybe he himself has some sort of demons in his closet regarding this thing. Because to me, it's just so weird to be so fixated on an issue that you will even lie and make up stories about people to promote your cause. But yeah, usually a person who is so deeply invested in stuff like this is likely hiding something, so I wouldn't be surprised if those allegations made by his exes have some modicum of truth to them. Following the fallout from his live streams and the coverage of the issues by Lyrics, he actually DM'd Lyrics and heavily implied that he was going to flag his channel if he did not take down the stream that made him look like shit. In a tweet posted by Lyrics, Max wrote this to him. Please note that during your recent live stream, you revealed the real name of a survivor who wished to remain anonymous. To protect their privacy, we kindly ask you to promptly remove or edit this portion of your stream. Additionally, we want to highlight the potential danger if views this stream, as it could put the survivor's life at risk. Given your stance on names and doxing, we trust you understand the gravity of this situation and will act accordingly. If this issue isn't addressed promptly, we will need to contact our YouTube partner manager. We appreciate your immediate attention to this sensitive matter. I fucking hate how loyally this fucking guy writes. I guarantee you he runs his messages through ChatGPT and ask it to spit it back out in lawyer speak before he sends them. And it would make sense because he has admitted to using ChatGPT for legal advice and used ChatGPT for his Charlie manipulation video. Anyways, Lyrics responds, do you have a timestamp or something where I did this? I honestly don't know what you're talking about. Who are you accusing me of doxing in my stream? Max then responds, I am not accusing you of doxing. Their name was present in our Discord group chat. We sent you the timestamp and the link. The person we are talking about is Ishmael, who is labeled as redacted on your stream. This is at their request. Then Lyrics says, alright, I saw it and I will have to download the VOD and I will re-upload it with that part censored. Is that why you privated your VOD? But yeah, is that all in regards to the stream? Because I don't want to get striked when I re-upload the clip for anything else, so let me know. And then Max replies with this weird ass message that reads, thank you. Yes, due to privacy considerations, we have made our stream private. However, if you don't want to get striked, I must express my concerns regarding the patterns we observed in your behavior and the nature of the community you are cultivating. Your channel is at risk of being terminated if these issues persist. Promoting a community that engages in bullying, especially targeting survivors of child sex crimes, is deeply troubling. I strongly recommend you reflect on the impact of your actions and the environment you're creating. We'll be checking on you periodically. Have a good night. And Lyrics then responds to him by saying, what a weird message. Hey man, I was more than willing to comply with you over your privacy concerns and just told you I would comply. But what is this shit with you vaguely threatening to flag my channel for bullying? I make jokes. I haven't bullied or targeted any survivors of child sex crimes, dude. And what is this word usage deeply troubling? Give me a break. Talk like a human and not a politician. I never have promoted anyone in my community to bully any survivors of child sex crimes, dude. This weird vague threat right now is a really bad look. And yeah, like I said, this guy talks so lawyerly, and maybe like a politician is the better word. And I can just picture it in my head of him saying those words in that cringe ass Batman voice of his too. Absolutely fucking disgusting. This still doesn't even end there, by the way. On the 18th, which is the same day Muda posted his video exposing MamaMax, so I don't know if this is a response, but anyways, Muda tweeted this: was sent what appears to be a leaked message from Max to his private evidence servers, so can't claim if this is valid. Insane fucking behavior to start wasting resources on an international lawsuit. Get help. And a picture in which MamaMax asked his Discord if he should sue Muda for $1 million, and even the people in his server were like, dude, no, can you stop? Look, this whole situation is fucked, but it is safe to say that MamaMax has actually destroyed his career with all of this happening. Again, like I said in my initial video about him, the way he handled these very serious allegations almost seemed like it was a game to him. The overperformance and the theatrics and the fake cancellation to try and get attention just seemed off to me. I just do not understand why people thought that what I said was unreasonable. You can't expect people to take you seriously if you show up to an interview dressed up like a clown, and that's what MamaMax essentially did. And is threatening other creators because they covered him in a negative light doesn't help his case either. To be honest, the people I actually feel bad for in this situation are the alleged victims of this crime, who actually ended up just becoming victims of MamaMax in the end. And they became victims because he thought it was more important to LARP about the issue than it was to cover it in a serious manner. Again, my video is just the icing on the cake, and if you want to watch the whole thing, all the allegations, all the lies, all the deceit, you should check out Lyric's video and Muta's video, which I will link in the description box below. Those are much more in-depth videos on this whole situation and really highlight how much of a piece of shit MamaMax really is. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, subscribe for more content, and if you want to join the community, I have a Discord now. The link is in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!